Howdy guys, how's it going? So you know what, I thought we need to go ahead and start getting a leg up on the Black Ops Cold War content, okay? So the alpha just got done a couple days ago, so I want to go ahead and run through some of the weapons that we know we got in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So now, right now I'm on a website called Games Atlas, and they have got a beautiful screenshot of each weapon and a screenshot of the stats of each weapon that we got, and we're just going to go down one by one, talk about how it plays out, how it could play out in the future, because we all know that from the alpha to the beta, the weapons are going to change, and from the beta to the actual game, it's going to change, and then while the game is progressing and new weapons are getting added, things are going to get nerfed, things are going to get buffed. So in terms of talking about the stats and how good the weapon is, you know, it's going to be neither here nor there, and I'm just doing this too because it's going to be neat to look back and see, like, comparison-wise, how the weapons change from when the game drops, and either the, you know, when next up is the beta stage to the actual, the full release of the game. So with assault rifles, we got the XM4, which is our commando. We got the good old AK-47 Kalashnikov, and then we got the Krig 6, which, from all accounts, I can tell is supposed to be the Galil assault rifle. So now the XM4, it's 5.56, or AK-47 is 7.62 by 39, and the Galil is a 5.56 weapon. So whenever we pop in and we look at the stats, so we got a 30-round mag. 30-round mag should be standard for all three of these. We'll know that in a minute. We get 3 mags off the rip. For firepower, we got 40, 43, 40, 35. Okay, so now something I'm gonna do too is just pop over into the different windows. Look at the AK-47 right here. Go down, and also I got the window up top squeezed in so that it doesn't show all the annoying ads and stuff that pop up on the side. At least for the most part, we're still gonna see some of them. But yeah, so see 3 mags off the rip, 30-round mags. For this, we got 50, 40, 35. So, you know, it should be a lot. It should have more firepower because 7.60 by 39 is, you know, it's a larger caliber round. Now, the one thing that I do need to do too is I'm going to open up another window. So like I said, it's just going to be straight through. We're just having a nice, fun, friendly conversation talking about these weapons. So, you know, some of these they have not went with the name. You know, that could be for just you know, copyright reasons or just issues with being able to call the weapon what they actually are. They just want to call it something different for whatever reason. I don't know their exact thought process. So let's get a little sip of the old caffeine here. Get right back into it. So I got it as an OD green, which is strange. And look, this could very well be a different weapon, but it's not ringing a bell to me. It's got just the Galil look, so I mean, if I am wrong on this, somebody please correct me in the comments, but I researched Krig 6, and that's definitely a name they have just allocated to this weapon. So 30 round mags, firepower is 35, so that means that our XM4 is 40, so it's got a higher firepower, even though it's rocking the same you know, they're both rocking 5.56 ammunition, but they are balanced out relatively well. But it's looking like the XM4 is still going to be the way to go, at least as of now, over the Krig 6 from everything that we're seeing right here. I mean, because ammo, then we got accuracy 50, 40. So the Galil has potential for higher accuracy, so maybe that could be better for longer ranges. If we don't have any range data out of the statistics here, so maybe they've tied that in with firepower or somehow factored that in with speed. I don't know. Like I said, I did not play the alpha because I don't have a PlayStation 4. I have a PlayStation 5. I'm gonna be playing this game on PC, but when the actual game drops, everything is supposed to be dropping on the same do jig. Like, everything's supposed to be dropping at the same time, aside from the alpha and the beta. So then we go down to the submachine guns. We got our MP5. We got our Uzi, they call it the Type 821, and then we got the AK-74U. And as far as I know, the AK-74U should be rocking with, you know, the 7.60 by 39, just standard, but it could also be the, 5.45 by 39, is that it? let me look at my thing. Yeah, 5.45 by 39 ammunition, which would lead, you know, to some, it'll hit hard, have, you know, it'll have good recoil, it'll be balanced out very well, but in most cases, the MP5 and the Uzi is probably going to end up being the most dominant SMGs, as they tend to do in this game. So we'll take and crack open a page of both of these, and we'll look at the stats real quick, kind of compare them side by side. So we got 4 mags, 30 rounds, we got 4 mags, 32 rounds, and then we got the 4 mags, 30 rounds. So then looking at the stats, we need to go down right here, hit up right here. So we got 30, 40, 35, 35. So the MP5 is probably going to be one of the most balanced, like most versatile out of all 3 of them. And then for the Uzi, we got 45. So what we got? So we got 30 to 45. So the Uzi's hitting a lot harder right out of the gate. And then, so yeah, so if the AK-47U is rocking at 35 firepower, which is more than the MP5, but our Uzi's hitting the hardest, I mean, you got to take into account the way that they balance these weapons out, so you got to look at all the stats in comparison. And I mean, I don't want this video to be a flipping hour long, and since we're doing it straight through, you know, we're just having a conversation. So it's mainly just about taking a look at the weapons and what they're doing with them, and like what the concept is, and just trying to give an idea of what most likely the best weapon's going to be whenever the game drops, based off the information we have now, and which is, you know, it's completely speculation, and they can do a lot of things with it going back. But you know, in past Call of Duties, from what we've seen, and I'm also just kind of referring, even going all the way back to Black Ops 1, but the MP5 has always been a dominant submachine gun regardless, and so is the Uzi. The AK-47U has always been good. Like all three of them, they're powerhouse. Like all the weapons that they're coming out with right at the gate, it's really interesting because they're all good. They're all going to have their place. But at the end of the day, one weapon in each category's got to be able to take and come out at the top. There's got to be a top contender. So it's like, I think the XM4 is going to be one of the most balanced, one of the most common, one of the best, and one that's probably going to get tweaked here, there, and everywhere. And it's going to have probably one of the most the widest range of blueprints for the weapon. Then going to the subs, I think the Uzi is going to be dominant to begin with, because the MP5 is going to probably be, like, stay versatile, but the Uzi is going to hit the hardest, and the AK-47U is going to have to play somewhere in the middle depending on attachments, because attachments are going to play a huge role, as they always do, in being able to really conform any of these weapons to fit whatever play style you're going for, and whatever, like, you know, specific gaming application that you're going with. Now, whenever we get to the Cold War tactical rifles, this was interesting to me because they put the M16 in here, and the reason I say that is because when we talk about tactical rifles, you know, I'm thinking marksman rifles. See, the M16, I'm no Vietnam weapon historian, but what I do know is the M16 during the Vietnam era, it definitely had its problems. It's 3-round burst. It says right here, 3-round burst tactical rifle, excellent burst fire accuracy when aiming down sights, and high damage in short range encounters. So it's still rocking with the 5.56 ammunition, because they did not have any other variation that I am aware of. They called it an AR-10, but they're still rocking the 5.56 ammunition. I never remember anybody mentioning a 308 caliber M16, especially in burst form during the Vietnam era. Once again, if I am wrong, please correct me, but link something with the information so that I can you know, fact check it and just get some good information. Because see, the firepower is only at 50. And we can go back and look, what's the XM4? So the XM4 is at 40, and then, like I said, I don't want this to get confusing switching back. AK-47. So the AK-47 is at 50. Now, see, the reason I'm curious about the AK-47 is because next up, we got the Type 63. Now, the Type 63 it's a SKS, which also fires 7.62 by 39. Okay, so then we go down there. It's got 55, so it's more than the AK-47. It's like it's not always about, as we all know about Call of Duty, it's not just about the ammunition. You know, every weapon can fire 9mm, have the same, like realistically, fire the same have 9mm as the caliber of the weapon. The barrel length can be the same. Everything can be the same. But then, you know, they got to balance weapons out in different cases so that they're not all the same. It wouldn't be fun to just use the same gun, just then have it look different. So that's why we're doing this, so that we can get an idea of how each one of these is going to play out real time in Cold War when the game drops, and how they're going to want it to fit. Because see, the SKS and the M16 was two of the most iconic, most known, most used weapons of the time, like during that war. You know, one on one side, then one on the other. So I feel like these are going to play a big role in gameplay, and even if they aren't good out of the gate, I don't know. I feel at some point they'll probably get buffed and or nerfed, but I think they're probably going to come out hitting pretty hard right at the beginning, just because of the significance they played during that era. And I think they're trying to be very, you know, era specific with the weapons and everything that they're doing with this Call of Duty. So we got that. Now, going down to the light machine guns. So light machine guns have always been, you know, one of those kind of almost like a gray area in Call of Duty. It's like either the LMGs are completely overpowered, they're too good, and it's like you get a bad name if you use them, or they're so heavy, clunky, mobility so bad that it's trying too hard to either like to be an AR that hits weak, or, well, I guess you could say AR that hits heavy, or just kind of on the light machine gun end that hits light. So the RPD, let's look at the RPD. Now, once again, I'll go ahead and say this up front, I admit to it, I do not have much knowledge on LMGs, like real world whatsoever. But it says 3 mags, 45 round mag on the RPD. And then what do we got cooking for the Stoner 63? So for this, we get 3 65 round mags, so are coming out with larger ammo capacity, but I do believe that the Stoner is going to be rocking 5.56 ammunition. Do not hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And the RPD is probably going to be rocking, you know, a heavier caliber round, as it should be. I don't know if it fires 7.62 by 39. That was a very common caliber at the time, but it might fire some kind of exit speed, less ammo capacity, less recoil control when sustaining fire. So we got firepower is 55, and on this is 48. So in theory, it's probably going to be hitting up, you know, a larger caliber ammunition type, but that's not guaranteed because they can change that around either way. But if I had to guess, like just going off like what happened in Black Ops 1 and stuff, normally I like a LMG that's got more damage using a higher caliber round, higher caliber ammunition. But the Stoner was such an iconic weapon and such a popular weapon during that time that I think the Stoner's probably going to end up coming up on top there and coming out on top. Just, you know, it'll probably flip-flop some here or there. It's all going to be about attachments. And from what I've seen, I haven't watched too much Cold War gameplay because I didn't want the alpha to really sink into my mind because it's a lot of stuff's going to get changed. But I did see the attachment list for a lot of weapons, and there's a lot of attachments to choose from. So there's going to be hooking you guys up with the best class setups and best loadouts in Cold War is going to be a bit of a, I mean, it's a bit more of a challenge. It'll be a Modern Warfare because there's a lot more options to test and try out and put through the paces before I release that to you guys. So that's just a little heads up on that front. So the LMGs, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what ends up coming to fruition with those. Now, getting to the snipers, because I know a lot of people are really, you know, so many people's into sniping, which is great. Sniping's fun, it's interesting. But looking at this, so the first weapon right here, we got the Pellington 703. The Pellington 703 does not exist to my knowledge, and this right here to me looks like a Remington 700, and a Remington 700 was like one of the most popular sniper rifle options of the time. So we know that it's firing a 308 caliber round. We got 4 mags, 5 round magazines. Our damage is 60. And then over here, this is the LW3 Tundra. I'm pretty sure this is meant to be the L96A1 because it fits in on the time frame. Most of the stock fits the exact aesthetic except for the back end of that. Like I said, sometimes we change the name of the aesthetics for copyright reasons, whatever. So it's rocking at 65 damage. It's at 60, so this is going to be the hardest hitting. It's a one shot to the head, as it would definitely should be a one shot to the head. It should be a one shot to the upper chest and shoulders. Okay, there we go. So we got 65 30, and over here we got 60 35. So 65 30. So see, all these weapons are balanced out very, very well. So it's going to come down once again to personal preference, playstyle, map, and application, and attachment. So whenever we look at the bone dry stats, because that stuff can be altered, the stats can be altered dramatically just by the attachment options they offer for all weapons, and then more importantly, if they offer any attachments specifically for certain weapons that are designed just to work with that weapon that the other ones don't have. You know, you don't have the ability to use them. So that's stuff that we'll compare to and look at later on. But if I remember right, was the L96A1? I don't remember what caliber. I can't remember if they had 338 Lapua at the time. I feel like they did, and it was a 338 Lapua. That's very possible. That's something you can Google on your own. But I don't think it was a 308. But then again, it's possible. I mean, 308 was a very popular round back then. But I know the Remington 700 was. Probably, I mean, I'm pretty positive that it was like the most popular, you know, sniper rifle of that era, at least the most commonly used, because it was so simple, it was reliable. Just throw a scope on it, get it sighted in, it held at zero very, very well. Throw a bipod on the front, and by God, you good to go. They could pump them out like crazy, and yeah, I mean, you know, you couldn't really go wrong with it. But now getting up to the Cold War shotty guns, we got the Spaz 12. They call it the Gallo SA 12. Okay, so we got that semi-automatic 12-gauge shotgun, 4 mags, 7 rounds, so that equals out whatever, 55 in the stats. And then over here we got the HAR 77. The HAR 77 is the Stevens Model 77E, which is the trench gun. If you play zombies and you're a fan of zombies, that's the trench gun. It's the Stevens Model 77E, which is like the most, I'm pretty sure it's the most produced shotgun, the most produced service shotgun of the time. So we got it hitting at 65, that's hitting at 55, speed 25, speed 15. So all that with the shotguns, the speed descriptions get a little wonky because it's like, I don't know what all that factors in, is if it's just talking about the mobility as far as how you manipulate the weapon, just ADSing, running with it, sprint to fire speed, or if that is also factoring in reload time and stuff of that nature. So two you know, very solid shotguns. I think, since like now I think you can use a shotgun as a secondary, like a default. Once again, don't hold me to that because I've purposely avoided a lot of the alpha content just so that my beta like experience and my original game experience can be more legitimate and like just honest, and I can soak it all up for myself, make my own opinions of things. But pump shotguns normally hit the hardest. I usually prefer to have a pump shotgun over a semi-automatic just because you hit markers, and it's like, you know, I would rather take with this shotgun, let's see, what does it say? It holds 5 rounds, and then our spaz holds 7. So with the spaz, you're probably going to have to take and pop people, you know, 3-4 times within most of your engagements that you're going to get in up close. Maybe, you know, barrel stuff him right in the chest. That's a 1 shot, but most of the time at least 2. With this, I would rather run the odds of just getting those nice crisp 1 shots at the range where you would, you know, you should be using your shotgun. And then know that I can handle multiple people just cycling through just with the, you know, the standard pump action. So I feel like that the pump shotgun, the old Harrier 77, which is the Stevens model 770, is going to be my preferred shotgun overall. But then again, we haven't played it, so we still got things to go. And then finally, we're going to bring it down to the pistols and to the launcher. So we got the 1911, and then we have the Damati. Like, this right here is just, I mean, from everything I can see, I mean, this is a Beretta. It's the I had it pulled up a minute ago. I don't know what I've done with it, but it's like the Beretta R something or other, and it was a burst weapon. But I seen when it was manufacturing it, and I'm pretty sure it was either manufactured near the tail end of things, but I mean, it's still, you know, relatively error correct. So we got 3 rounds. It's going to be 3-round burst, 3 mags. It's 3-round burst. The rounds per mag is 15. It's rocking 25 firepower, and this one is 35. So the 1911 is honestly probably going to be one of the most common, as long as you can take and sustain, like be able to take and hold on target if the fire rate's good. So whenever it comes to speed, like I said, I still don't know if speed is referring to the actual the fire rate of the weapon, or if it's about mobility or what. But it's rocking at 50. I would assume that's got something to do with mobility, because this right here is 45. It's 3-round burst. That would just by default make, you know, the fire rate a lot higher for this weapon. So I'm really curious, because you guys know I love to play with pistols, and they're going to get more guns. I was hoping to see a Python just as soon as the game dropped, because you don't know how bad I want a really nice revolver again that doesn't have much of a fire restriction, just so we can get in there and just drop some kids with a nice 357 Python revolver. But you know, I'm sure that stuff will come. We're gonna have battle pass. We're gonna have all this stuff. New things are gonna be dropping all the time. They want people to spend money on the game, so by God, that's what's going to happen, Captain. But there's our 2 handguns. Not a lot to say about it. I think out of the gate, the 1911 is still going to be my go-to option, just because I do like semi-automatic weapons. The burst will be fine. It's just about versatility. I think 1911 will still be the most versatile, and I'm going to call it the Renee, but it's the Beretta option. The 3-round burst Beretta is going to be like the best up-close deal that we can go with. And then finally, we got a launcher, and I hate launchers. But this is meant to, I don't know jack diddly about launchers, but we got 2 mags, so we got 3 rounds with it out of the gate, 95 firepower. That makes sense. Speed, slow, accuracy is 45. I have no clue what that means. And ammo, it's got low ammo capacity. There's bound to be more launchers, but you know, this is the only one I guess we know about at the moment. So I guess by default it has to be my favorite. So yeah, out of the gate, you know, favorite weapons, just going up the chain. I don't even want to talk about the launcher. It means nothing to me. I'm going to go with the 1911. I'm going to go with the Harrier 77. I'm going to go the Remington 700 Sniper. I'm sure the L96A1 is going to be great and hit hard, but once again, in terms of versatility, I think the Remington 700 is going to come out on top. The Stoner 63 is going to be my pick for the LMGs. Really hard to tell about their tactical rifles, bro, because I mean, in theory, for the TAC rifles, like an M16 should be more usable, more user-friendly. It should be more controllable. But then, if it's only rocking 5.56, so then our SKS variation should definitely hit harder, have more damage. But they're going to kind of dial that back with fire rate, since it's single, or M16's burst. So I'm really curious to compare. So I can't pick them. I can't pick my favorite out of that quite yet. When it comes to subs, it's another hard thing to do, but like, it's for me, it's between MP5 and the Uzi. I think the Uzi's probably going to be very dominant, because the MP5's held the place for so long. I don't see them necessarily making it god tier again, because it's too obvious. Like, I'm sure these are going to flip-flop a lot as the game progresses, and like I said, they adjust things and tweak things, add attachments, whatever. And then finally going up to the ACL rifles. We got the XM4, got the AK-47, the Crick. All these are going to be tons of fun to use. But once again, just going for overall versatility, I think the XM4 is going to take the cake. Because I think with that one, you're going to be able to take and you're going to be able to play up close, medium, and long range, especially once you take into account all of the attachments they're going to offer. and you can you'll be able to tweak all 3 of these in the same sense. But right out of the gate, the XM4 is probably going to be your best option if you have the ability to use it at the beginning of the game. So yeah, guys, there you go. That is a look at all the weapons. I'm going to have the link to this website down in the description so you guys can check this out for yourself. I think it's an awesome website. I really dig what they've done here, and I hope you guys have liked this weapon. Let me know in the comments which weapon you think is going to be the best per class, and just any other thoughts or comments or opinions. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, share your friends, and until the next one, adios.